Hi, my name is Summer. Welcome to AG Homeschool Mama. I am an adult doll collector and my videos are for other adult doll collectors, though it is a safe space for teenagers and kids. It's not a kid video, but there's not going to be anything on here. This video, however, is an opinion piece on the new Mattel American Girl releases that are coming up this year for their 40th anniversary. I in no way want to influence or create content that makes people feel one way or another about it. Everyone, I've hemmed and hawed about even stating my opinion about these things. I've given it a lot of thought, prayed about it, and I do want to share my thoughts and opinions about what I have known. I'm a little late to the train party. A lot of other content creators have put things out there that know a lot more details than I do. So I am in no way an expert, nor, wanting anybody to think that I am. This is just my simple opinion, coming from maybe a little bit of a different perspective. Chris over at the Doll Studio, he was invited recently to the New York City toy fair for the year. It's a big thing that you have to be invited to even go and see. And he was given the blessing of going. I watched his video this morning on what he saw there, what his opinions were. And so I want to give full credit to some of the things that I share, because it was through watching his video that I have come up with my own set of opinions. And I will link his channel and Lavender, I think it's Lavender Aura AG as well. She had some thoughts. I listened to her. She's a great channel as well. I'll link her in the description below. Please like and subscribe to them. They're fantastic. So without further ado, I have notes. Help me stay on task so I don't babble on too much. So I did some research, and Lavender Aura AG had mentioned, about, a lot of people know Mattel is a brand. It's a toy brand. It's a toy company. They're looking for profits. I in no way harp on them for this. I have some opinions about how they're going about it. But I did some research as far as where they've been in 2025 and where they currently are in 2026. We know that this 40-year anniversary for American Girl Doll, they didn't just come up with these ideas in the last 2 months. Like, there are teams of people, that work on this stuff for years, like what to do. I really think that, like, Raquel being the Girl of the Year, they should have really released the Girl of the Year in January, but whatever, would have got along with the whole 40th anniversary, would have been a really big deal. Her being the great granddaughter of Samantha Parkington would have been such a cool thing as a this year release, as opposed to September, and now she's already nobody cares about her anymore. But, like, again, they really think about this. They do listen to us. We've all seen, I've got sunlight coming in here and whatever. You guys are going to have to deal with the blinds coming through, but this is the only spot in the house I could find with some peace and quiet. We've watched American Girl listen to us as consumers and listen to other influencers and content creators on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all that stuff. And we have found that, they changed the boxes back to the window box because Summer's box was just awful. Oh gosh, that was just such an awful box. They listen. I'm really, really hoping that, with the price increases that are astronomical and ridiculous for the doll hospital, or the care center as they call it now, I really hope that everyone's voice is heard and that they drop those prices. I'm not going to say I am confident that they will, because given what I've watched personally over the from 2025, really the beginning of 2025 until this point, I am watching what inevitably is a company trying to squeeze. It's like having a sponge that's soaked and you're squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, and you're just trying to squeeze all the last bit of water out of it that you can, right? I feel like that over the last year and now 2 months, full 2 months, year and 2 months, the Mattel is trying to do. They're not doing very well. And I mean, we can talk about, and people have talked about this before, we could talk about the tariffs. I'm not here to get political. I will never do that on my channel. It's just not my intention. I come here and I want everyone else to come here for this to be a safe space for you, for me, for anybody else who's interested in dolls and what's going on in the doll world as far as, collections and stuff go. This opinion piece probably won't happen very often. I really just want to highlight collections and do some book reading and book series reviews and things like that. But this is, I think, important going forward. And, my opinion is one that, you could take it or leave it, right? Does not matter here nor there to me, but my opinions and my thoughts are influencing my choices and purchases as time goes by. And I noticed that the choices that Mattel was making with American Girl last year was starting to influence my choices. And one of those main things is price, right? Price point is a big deal. We have families, we have real life jobs, we have huge life responsibilities. We're all going through periods of time where life is coming at us, happening to us, or happening for us. And with that comes adulting decisions that we have to make in order to put food on the table, in order to, pay our electric bill, in order to fix the hole in the roof, as in my case right now after the ice storm that we had. So everyone has something going on. And I think that regardless of what socioeconomic class you are in, whatever position you are in as a family or an individual, familial wise, you are still, money is relative. You still have bills to pay. You still have to put food in your body that's hopefully nutritious, and you still have to put gas in your car to get to the places you need to go. Those are the basic life needs, right, are going to trump a doll purchase. They just are. Okay, so that's my little tangent. Let's get to it. So February 10th, Mattel published their forecast and their end of year 2025 results. I just made some notes. I read that. I will link the article in the description. It's a lot of numbers and a lot of charts. But it basically, just said that on February 10th, they published that, their shares were down 25% from the end of 2025, that quarter. And that they actually are forecasting their profits to actually continue to decline this year. The statement was that they forecast their profits. The forecasted profits could, being the opportune word, continue to decline this year. And so it has left, there's other things they're purchasing back their share. They've made a lot of purchase back of their shares to try to bolster and make the company look like it's in a better situation. And I'm not speculating here. I'm just kind of stating the things that I read, the way I understand it. Please comment below if you find something different. I love to find out if there's anything different, but this is the overall gist of what I have understood the company to be at as a whole. Knowing that the toy fair, okay, is another big thing. The toy fair usually encompasses the big releases of toy companies for the year, which is why they happen in, you know, that February, March time, that first quarter. Because of that, we know that what Chris shared at the Doll Studio by Chris, what he shared going there is like, it is pretty much the big release. Now we know we're going to have like a holiday doll. We always do, or we have had, you know, for a number of years now. And we'll have like little small, like Truly Me releases, or maybe some historical clothing releases, which would be awesome. And I mean, hopefully the company again is hearing us. Those are selling out, right? Those seem to sell out quickly. A lot of the clubs are not selling out quickly. Hopefully they'll push, you know, they'll pull back on those. Again, you know, there you could see that the company is kind of like grasping at straws to see what's working, what's going to work for them in the future, and what's not working. You know, we can babble on all day long about what we want. You know, I'm a mother of 3 children, all who have enjoyed AG at different stages of their childhood, and you know, and still love the brand. I mean, even our 16-year-old son still wants to come to the American Girl doll store and look around because he just thinks it's like the coolest thing. But we are not, even though we're the ones with the money, right? The kids don't have the money, the parents do. The kids are the ones that are going to be the driving force of the majority of the population's purchases. If, as a parent, I want to get a historical outfit that's released, will I get it? Yeah, I will, right? But I'm going to get it for myself. Like, my 10-year-old is not going to want the historical outfit, you know, like as much as she's probably going to want an outfit that she can, you know, that her doll can wear like every day and is, you know, more like her. The Truly Me line has become, I mean, as we've seen, the majority of the heart of American Girl, where when Pleasant Company obviously, you know, owned it, and the beginnings of the whole like point, I guess, of American Girl was to teach girls history, and so that they could like relate to these stories and these kids. And I mean, you even look at the Girl of the Year, like, I'm sorry, y'all, but like, I love the Girl of the Year line, but it's not even a Girl of the Year. It's like a Girl of the Summer. She has like a summer story, and she has for years. Or like a season. It's a season story. Okay, we're in the summer. Or, oh, we're in the winter. Or, oh, we're in the spring. Like, it's not a Girl of the Year. She doesn't have like year long something. It's like a girl of a couple months. And that's just what it is. Girl of the season is what she should be called. But the Truly Me brand within American Girl is like the driving force. And as much as we would love to see the historical girls come back strongly, we're lacking, in my opinion, we're lacking strong authors with strong character development, strong, you know, stories of adventure, suspense. I mean, I am reading, we homeschool, and so I am reading for the second, almost third, going now the third time, through the American Girl, the historical girls. We're learning American history through the eyes of American Girl. My kids love the original historical girls books. They are poignant and like they create like a sense of anxiety in like a good way. Like, I can't wait to turn the next page. There's empathy taught. There's, you know, adventure and suspense and intrigue. You just, now we have journals and graphic novels and learn to reads. And I mean, I read these books and I'm like, this is it. This is it. They're easy to get to, or excuse me, they're easy to get through. they have a little tiny bit, but they're really dumbing down kids. Like, they've dumbed down kids, and that's okay, I guess. It's okay. Again, they're made for kids, and this is how kids are not dumbed down. Do not get me wrong there. But these stories nowadays are lacking deep character development and content in the books, that the authors they're either just picking poor choices of authors, or the authors aren't putting a lot of effort into the storylines on purpose because they think the kids can't or aren't interested in reading things that are a little deeper. I mean, my 10-year-old, we're reading aloud, about to start Felicity's books, but we're in the interim of between Kaya and Felicity, so we're reading The Witch of Blackbird Pond. She's super into it. I'm reading it out loud to her. I mean, she can read, but like, that's like our fun, like, nightly book that we read together right now. And, you know, I'm like, is this a little too over your house? She's like, no, it's so interesting, Mama. You know, so she's like, these kids are capable of being pulled in to something really amazing. But I just feel like American Girl is lacking. And again, that's just my opinion. I'm sure there'll be haters in the comments, and that's okay. We are all welcome to our opinion, and I welcome all opinions because, again, this is a safe space. I want you to feel confident to be here. So that's kind of, so let me backtrack here to the toy fair. So the toy fair, because it usually does encompass the big release of the year, I think that really what we can expect, what the big release is, especially because it's on pre-order and stuff, is the modern historical girls, as they're calling them. You know, Chris pointed out they are the AG Sisters line bodies. They definitely have larger heads. I do like, okay, I'll tell you what I like about them here in just a minute. So, I'm going to let you know, like, my opinion, my first opinion, compared to like my opinion now. And so let's just go ahead and break that down. This is my first opinion when I first saw them was, okay, the word on the street was, oh, I mean, we've been hearing for a couple of years, like content creators and stuff being like, oh, wouldn't it be lovely if they came up with, you know, modern historical girls, putting the historical girls in modern outfits. And they had like whole, like that private sale type thing with where they went on auction or something like that. And they sometimes do that. And then, you know, so we've been saying these things and they're listening and they're like, but we also know that kids are not playing with toys for as long as they used to. When I was a little girl, I was playing with Barbies until I was like 14. And maybe not in the same way as like I did when I was 10, right? With like made up stories in my brain and stuff. But I would like set them up and change their clothes before I went to school, you know, in 8th grade. And like, I'd, you know, put Barbie to bed and like I'd wake her up and I'd put her food on her table and I'd get myself ready to go to school and I'd go to school and then, you know, I'd come back and I'd change her into another outfit and I'd put dinner on the table. Like I did more like setup play, which is really great. Like that's awesome. And play does evolve as kids get older. But kids that are 14 now are not playing like with toys at all. Unless they're playing with a little sibling or a little kid that they've like are babysitting, they're not sitting down and playing. Do they still enjoy it when they do? Yes. At least my kids do. My 16-year-old still asks for Legos for Christmas, and I thank God that he does, because I will buy him Legos until I'm dead, if that's what he wants. Because Legos are awesome. I mean, they literally, Lego has, you know, seen a market for adult Legos and they are maximizing that opportunity and it's going great for them. I would think that other companies would see that as well. And I know that during COVID and everyone was locked in, all of we Gen Xers and millennials were noticing, you know, that like, oh, all the nostalgia was coming back, and we like really kept these companies even alive through the COVID years. But now it's like, okay, well, let's back to reality, right? Everyone's dropping off on the new hobbies that crash and burn. Look at Joanne Fabrics. Case in point there for their company. You look at, I would like even everything, the prices that had gone up during the COVID years, like on yarn, if you crochet or knit or sew, I was like, why is yarn getting so expensive? Well, it's because more people were buying it. So the company was like, sweet, let's raise the price because more people are into these crafts again. And, but now those prices are dropping down again. And it's not because, oh, great, things are going down, like inflation prices are going down. No, it's just because people are back to their real life jobs and having to put gas in their tanks, and food on their table and going out with their friends. Like that's what's going on. So I think, unfortunately, that this is what we're getting. With the exception of some pop-up Truly Me outfits, maybe a historical outfit that's limited edition like we've got in the last couple years for some of the historical girls. But we're not getting more stories. I would just love, like, there are so many more avenues of stories that they could deep dive into that would keep, like, why didn't Kaya ever go on her vision quest? Like, what? That was a huge missed opportunity. Like, write another story for these girls. They still have so much childhood left to live. Like, there's so many more things that could be written about and written about well. But I don't think we're going to get any of that. I mean, look at Claudie. Like, she was treated like a girl of the year. Not even like a girl of the year. She got less than that kind of treatment. And her stories were, I mean, I've read them. I have them. Like, really? She just doesn't know what her talent is. And then, like, they never even find out what that is. She just then goes to her next book. She goes to visit her grandma, which was great. But, like, there's no depth. There's no, nothing's going on. Like, there's like, it's just so surface level. It could just have been so great. I mean, look at Addie's stories. Anyway, I can go off on a tangent. Let's stay to the task at hand. So here's my first opinion on the modern historical girls, since that is going to be the big release, according to the history and statistics of how the toy fair runs. Companies put in their big releases. They showcase their big releases for the year. What did American Girl do? They showed off the historical girls. We know our leading lady's coming back here, Felicity. Super pumped about that. I think that's obviously corresponding with the anniversary of our country's birth, right? That's a huge thing. So Williamsburg is going to be huge. Like, we tried to book a Williamsburg trip in January for us to go to. It was all sold out. It's been sold out for like 9 months, they said. Like, not a hotel in sight. Like, you literally can't get in. I mean, we could get in just to go for the day, but we're half a country away. So it's a big deal. So that would have been a missed opportunity if they hadn't brought out Felicity back. But bringing her back means what? Like, is it going to be, bringing Samantha back in her regular outfit and she just is boxed and like, that's what we have? Do you know what I'm saying? I know that there's controversy around Felicity. I think, again, it's part of our history, and I don't think that we should shy away from it. I think it needs to be discussed. Like, okay, her family owned slaves, and so did everybody else, and it needs to be like expanded upon. But I don't think it's healthy to avoid it, because avoiding it doesn't solve and bring people together. It just causes more of a divide. Again, this is just my opinion. I'm a second generation Italian. My grandparents came over as immigrants through Ellis Island. Their names are in there. It's pretty darn awesome. I've got a really great Italian heritage. I married a Canadian, so like he's an immigrant as well. So we don't have, my view, isn't perfect, right? I don't think anybody's is. I don't think that there's like, a right and a wrong. I think there's a huge like gray area here. I mean, there's obviously wrong and right in the world, but I don't think we should ignore Felicity just because her family owned slaves. I think it's something that we should actually not ignore, and it's something that we should talk about, and talk about in a positive way. Like, listen, there was a lot of times in our history when the European settlers we didn't treat people well. And over the course of centuries of humanity not treating other people well, there's a lot of it. Let's stop repeating it. You know, let's start treating people the way Jesus wants us to treat them, with kindness and respect and compassion and empathy. Like, if we all just like came together and treated people with common respect and dignity, the world would change. It would be amazing. Like, you know, do I think that that's going to happen? I think that we can get there, but you know, I don't think that's going to happen, obviously, until like, you know, the very end, when, you know, I'm a very spiritual person. So when, you know, for me, I believe like when God comes back and creates a new heaven and a new earth, that's when we will have true peace on this planet. Our job while we are here, because we are made for such a time as this, we were created for such a time as this, that our job is to do the best that we can and to be like Jesus in the best way that we can. So that, though, is why I don't think we should ignore history. I'm super glad that Felicity's coming back. I think there's an opportunity there for great teaching points, and I hope that that happens. You know, I really do. So I feel like that's like the biggest new release, is that Felicity's coming back. As far as the modern historical line, oh, you guys, my first opinion was, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing? I mean, at first glance, you can see that the hair, now I'm going to mention another brand here. I'm not cutting that brand. As a matter of fact, I have some dolls in the Our Generation brand from Target. They have adorable face molds. The clothes are pretty decent, honestly. The price point is good. The hair's a mess. If you don't mess with the hair, it's fine. But the moment you try to mess with the hair, it's a mess. I had a friend of ours who had an Our Generation doll, and she knew that I could restore the hair of American Girls. She said, will you please restore this hair? I was like, oh, I could totally do that. Let me just tell you, I worked on that hair for 3 days for a total of like 8 to 10 hours. It was such a rough go to restore that hair. That hair is not fun to work with. It is not fun to restore at all. I mean, the difference in like the brushing and the way it breaks, it definitely breaks and feels and even sounds when it breaks like plastic. Everything that Chris has said about the hair of the modern historical girls is pointing in my brain, and again, I haven't touched them yet, but it's pointing in my brain of Our Generation hair, which does not hold a style, does not hold a curl, and is very difficult to restore. My first opinion of them was, oh no, we have rooted hair, because that screams to me less quality to start with. I thought, okay, there's no way, like my daughters aren't gonna like this rooted hair. The second issue was $90. Are you serious, you guys? But again, when I did my research, I was like, on the company and where they're at, I'm like, okay, this totally makes sense. You combine tariffs, the pieces being made all over the place, right? And then being manufactured in China, all those tariffs, all those costs, toys being purchased, being down. You have what ends up happening is them buying their own shares back to like make the company look like it's doing better. They're not it's not like they're on the brink of bankruptcy, but they're not doing well. Like they would be considered risky. They're more risky now to like invest in. So anybody that wants to invest in their stock and their company is going, like you're projecting that your sales are going to be worse, that they're going to continue to decline this year. Like why would we want to, why would we want to bolster that up? So they still have they're still profitable. They still have some money. They have a good amount of money like set aside, to use. That's like, liquidate, they can liquidate. And again, all of this is on the Mattel's like website and what they publish. Like you could look at all of this yourself. But they are struggling. And so they're grasping at straws, in my opinion, and coming up with as many different things that they can think of to get people to buy their stuff. The keychains, super cute. That's going to be kind of like a Stony Clover thing. That's what they look like to me. Will I buy one? Probably, because they're super cute. Will I wait for them to go on sale? Yeah, I will. The prices over the past year and 2 months have gone so high that I can no longer justify paying that price. Even if I have the money, I can't justify paying that price anymore with what it is. Let's be real. It's a doll outfit. For a doll. It's a toy. It's a doll outfit. Even when it's collectible, I'm not spending, like, the outfits, Truly Me outfits are $50. The modern historical girls at 14.5 inches, Welly Wisher size, but not even Welly Wisher bodies, not Welly Wisher wigs. Like, we have no wigs. We have rooted hair. And they have like, I do like that they have like a jointed head, like where you could like, woo, like, spin their brain around, which is super fun. That's unique. That's something different. But the hair quality is bad. The quality on the outfits isn't anything really better anymore other than maybe some finishing stitches and little tiny details than our generation. Like Felicity's peplum top that she has, it looks on videos and pictures that I've seen to be like a nylon-y polyester silky, not even silky, like a satiny, crunchy, not even a nice fabric. It just doesn't look nice. Like, why couldn't they have made it like this? Like, this would have been great. This fabric's perfect. Like, why couldn't they have made her shirt like this? So there's little things like that. Again, I've got some opinions now. I went ahead and asked my 10-year-old what she thought about the modern historicals. I knew would have a different opinion because she loves the Welly Wishers. We have every single Welly Wisher, doubles of some of them, because the original ones that we have, their legs have not broken, but if they do, I want a replacement because we love the Welly Wishers. But she saw them and she was like, I love them. So her first opinion was so different than mine. She doesn't like that they have rooted hair. But she said, it's fine if they have our, like our generation hair, Mama. Like, it's okay. Like, I can still brush it. Are we going to be able to do much with it? No. Do kids care? No. But for $90 at a price point, am I going to buy them at $90? No. I told her, I was like, you're going to have to save some of your chore money to buy, one of these if you want one. But let's wait till they go on sale. And they're just not worth $90, guys. Like, just in my opinion. Now, do I think that, like, the more I look at them, the more I'm like, okay, they're a really cute concept. Even Molly, like, seriously, to a little girl, she's gonna love her. Like, who cares? Now, my youngest Molly is not her favorite. She actually likes Samantha the most, which is Samantha's outfit is a total Janie and Jack collab put on a 14.5-inch doll. We all know that. It's already been talked about. Moving on. But I do, she likes Samantha the most. So we'll probably get Samantha. I love Josefina. I really like the Felicity, but the outfit makes me go, ugh. I love the outfit, but the quality of that shirt really bothers me. Addie's outfit is really cute and unique. When I look at them and think, okay, do little girls wear clothes like this? I would say yes to Felicity, yes to Addie, yes to Molly, honestly, according to my 10-year-old. No to Josefina, unless your mother's dressing you. And then you're probably going to complain about it. Most 10-year-old girls are in leggings and a t-shirt or a cute little top, and they're running around outside, like, getting dirty, going to dance and gymnastics and, whatever else they're doing, playing on a playground. But I see that American Girl has taken their dolls. I mean, they've done it with the Girl of the Year. The only, we had Lila, which is great. Lila Minetti's story was actually little girl. It was actually a little girl story. My girls have been to horse camp. They've done gymnastics, that kind of thing. Do I belong to this team? Do these people like me? Oh, I don't want this horse to get given up to, to someone else because it's, jumpy. Like, all of that's like real life little kid stuff. But like Raquel, like, I need to read her book. I haven't read her book yet, but Blair was a wedding planner at 10. Like, my oldest daughter loved Blair because she was like a farm girl, but a wedding planner? No 10-year-old's a wedding planner. Now, my 10-year-old is learning to bake, and she's loving baking. She watches the Kids Baking Championship all the time and is definitely learning stuff. But like, like, everyone loves Grace, and I'm not hating on Grace. I own Grace. Her stories are fun. But great, like, a 10-year-old doesn't own a bakery, guys. Like, this is where American Girl has lost their way over the years, is the stories are not relatable to kids. The historical line showed relatability and like, what? This is the kind of thing kids really went through back then? That's insane. It wasn't like I've got like Cinderella's song, "A dream is a wish the heart makes" type stories. Like, I don't know. Like, I've just watched my girls not really enjoy the Girl of the Year line's stories because they are not realistic for kids. Like, real kids don't own bakeries and don't plan weddings and don't drive cars. Beach cars or otherwise. The parents are driving them. I don't know. Now, that's just what I've observed. I am not a public school mama. I'm a homeschool mama. And so we live life on the fringe, right? Like, we are not in mainstream USA world. We just live it over here. So maybe that's just my opinion. Again, feel free to share your opinions. I'd love to hear them. If you've experienced something different as far as little girls go, I'd love to hear it. I'm just speaking from my own personal experience and what I've seen from other parents of little kids that I know that my kids hang out with, that I hang out with, like what we face and what we see in children. So again, I'm just little old me. As I've looked at them and more people have posted videos, I'm like, okay, yeah, we're going to buy them. But again, I'm only going to buy them. I said this before. I'm only going to buy them if they are on sale. I can no longer justify the price point with the quality decline. And I know that Mattel is squeezing that sponge to get as much water out of it as they can, but they have made cuts that are just, I think they're digging their own grave. And again, I'm not speculating. I am not saying, I don't know any insider information of what's going on with the company. I don't, from what I have found online, they're not close to bankruptcy, but if they, they're still profitable, but like if they don't get their act together, I don't see it going well for them. I just don't. And when it comes down to it, we all just want things to be simple. We want to be able to afford the things we want, and while also putting food on the table and gas in our cars and taking a vacation with our family. And right now, those things are really hard to do, and I think that everyone that I've talked to is really struggling with that, regardless of where you are in, your socioeconomic status. Like everyone is dealing with something right now. So my opinions on the little people, my kids love little people. If it's not astronomically expensive to buy the little people, I probably will, just because it would be really cute, like to stick in my display the little person with the big person. Like that would just kind of be cute. But again, do I need it? No. So like if it's super cheap, like if it goes on sale for $25, will I buy them? Probably. Will I buy them if they're 50 and up? No. I am super excited about the books. I am definitely going to get the big coffee table size book about the making of American Girl. That is one thing that has not gone up in price, is books. And I am so grateful because I love books. I will buy the adult historical fiction of Samantha. That is one that I am just going to applaud right here and now. It is about time. Give us something. Because as these girls grow up and they loved the stories, to have something that they can come back to or look forward to going to as they age is so awesome. Because truly, we are the ones that are driving this brand that is still alive. We are. The Gen X millennials aren't going to Target and going, I had these dolls as a little kid. This is why I'm buying this for my daughter. No, they're going during Christmas, Easter, and, birthday parties and going, I'm going to grab this doll because this looks like fun and it's within the budget for a birthday present. There's not like a heirloom quality, nostalgic memory associated with any other brand that I know of like American Girl. We are the ones that are like, oh, I wanted an American Girl. I had an American Girl. My kids have to have an American Girl. I'm passing my American Girls down. Only most adult collectors are like, I'm just going to buy you your own because mine is precious and I don't want you to ruin it. But that basically sums up all of my opinions. I rambled a bit. That's kind of what I do. I'm like displaying like that. On YouTube, he's fantastic. He's in Canada. So hello, fellow Canadian, with my hubby, but he's really great. I love his channel. Lavender or AG Girl, she has just, she went into like the company a bit. I gleaned a lot from her videos. I agree with a lot of the things that she says. And I think that, overall, I think that, am I disappointed about the 40th anniversary that this is kind of it? Yeah, I really am. I think it's kind of like a meh. Do I think it'll keep the company going for a little while? Yeah, I do, because I think, I don't know though, it might not, because the price point of $90 is really rough. If those dolls were $60 and they just keep the dolls at $60, the 14.5 inch, that's plenty of expensive over anything else. I think it would drive business better. I think that all these companies, instead of taking less in their own paychecks, they obviously are putting that cost onto us, only they're biting the hand that feeds them. And I think it's unwise. So, you know, that usually just doesn't go well in general. So that's my opinion. Overall, super excited Felicity's coming back. We will probably own some of the, I'm not pre-ordering them. I will own some of the 14.5-inch historical girls when they go on sale. I am not in any kind of rush last year and this year to make any kind of purchase at full price anymore with American Girl. I am a Berry member, but I will probably continue to keep that. But you know, like last year, I just made it. And this year, I mean, I'll probably just make it staying that way too. I'm just less and less and less because not only is my collection nearly complete for me and what I want, but I'm like overwhelmed with the stuff. And I know that a lot of you guys feel the same. And like, I don't mind. I actually would be more inclined to have more stuff if it was cheaper. So the price point is really big for me. So again, I think it's all really cute. The things I'm most excited about are the books. We'll pick up a couple of the modern girlies. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we will get some re-releases of some of Felicity's stuff. And maybe some re-releases of more of the historical girls things that maybe just wasn't in the toy fair. So those are my hopes. Those are my opinions. This is a long one. Thanks for sticking with me. Remember, this is a safe place. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are created for a time as this. Be confident, be you, and Jesus loves you. I'll see you next time.